beautiful Pisces friends, and welcome to your horoscope for June of 2022. We're Pisces this month. We've got one of your ruling planets blazing over there in this Aries energy, lighting up your second house space there with Mars. So it's like, get it, let's go get it. But then we've also got your other ruling planet in your sign preparing itself for a retrograde. So it gives me this idea that there's a little bit of a haze or a lack of clarity for you right now, Pisces. Like, who am I exactly who am I? And yes, I would love to get it, but exactly how do I do that? So there's some space in here between logic and surrender that seems like it's really creeping up on your table throughout June, where you've got to know when to hold and when to fold. So let's examine what we can see as we trudge through this month and see what the breakdown looks like. Now, also keep in mind, Pisces, that to make sure you are keeping up with the year 2 of the YouTube Academy, you are checking out the community tab of this channel's homepage, okay? You can also go to my website at stormiegrace.com, click right there on the homepage, and it'll give you information about where we're at, what's happening with the YouTube Academy right now, what class you should be watching, so that you can get ready to join us live for the Q&A with that particular teacher. So get all of your details online or just click over to the community tab, okay? All right, Pisces, let's jump in and see what's going on this month. Now, first and foremost, right out of the gate, we're coming in, and Mercury is going to be coming out of retrograde in the energy of Taurus, so lighting up your third house space. So Mercury in the communication sector coming direct automatically brings a little lift, a little clarity to the thinking, to some of the decision making, to the information that's maybe been trying to come for you. Because it's not that there hasn't been valuable, Taurus, information or energy or information that was grounding, Taurus. It's like you couldn't get it to stick, maybe. Or maybe you were even trying to meet with people or set up meetings or dates, and you're like, how come these are not working out? Or I just couldn't remember, what was going on with that. It's really an interesting energy when Mercury does go retrograde. But the thing I want you to keep in mind about even Mercury being direct at this time is that what you're working on now is still old things. You just have new perspective, because between 26 degrees of Taurus and that 4 degrees of Gemini, this is where this Mercury retrograde, the rethinking, the revision process has been happening. So it's the same old areas of your chart. You just have new clarity, new information, and new perspective to go ahead and apply, okay? Now, on the 4th, we're going to see Saturn stepping into its retrograde in the energy of Aquarius. It's going to go retrograde at 25 degrees of Aquarius, and will come out of that retrograde October 22nd at 18 degrees of Aquarius. Now, this, of course, is going to light up your 12th house space. So the place of quiet, surrender, restoration, renewal, spirituality, right? The diseases and the issues that we have that we can't see until they manifest themselves physically, but they could be sources of our own undoing if not treated well. Now, Saturn's been traveling straight ahead through this 12th house area of your life. So Pisces, what is this for you? What are the secrets back here? What are the immune issues? What are the addictions? What are the things that maybe have needed some tightening up to that treatment? And Saturn's been trying to take you to the next level. At the same tick, Pisces, what are the creative skills or talents or visions that you have and you want for your life? And Saturn's been helping you get some mastery on them to bring them out. And speaking of the mastery, I really want to hone in on that lens as well. If you've been working on your spiritual practice, you're breathing air, you're getting your renew and restoration practices together, and you're ready to share that with people, Saturn is going to show up as you delivering it as expertise. And I cannot wait for that for you. Okay, teaching other people how to surrender, to do what Pisces is naturally built to do. And as you are learning to do that even better yourself, to trust the divine unfolding of time, even if you can't see the definitive beginning and end, this is a gift I think you have to beautifully pass on to others. And sometimes it can be a little bit challenging to practice yourself. Now, as we get to the 13th, we're going to see Mercury move into the energy of Gemini. Now, it is continuing to move forward, but it's not full forward motion yet. Until June 18th, we're still dealing with past energies we've already seen. June 18th, Mercury leaves the post-retrograde shadow time and we're in full forward motion, okay? But here, as we get to the 13th and we see Mercury move into that Gemini space, this is home, family, real estate, property, the things at my home. Who are my home? Maybe I'm having conversations about my roots. What's in my roots? Do you need to get in there and weed your garden in some way? Whether it's your physical garden in front or back, depending on where you live, of your house, or your spiritual garden. Does something need to be removed all the way from the root because it's keeping your garden sick? Is there a change happening in your family dynamic? Are you signing a new contract? You're traveling to be with family. You're deciding who your family is going to be. What does this look like for you? But Mercury is doing a lot of talking and attempting to make a fair amount of decisions to get you into the right kind of home. I also think it is a phenomenal energy, Pisces, to question. Mercury will question and pique your curiosity about fundamental psychological beliefs that you've had, that you've emotionally held on to, and whether or not they are still valid and valuable for you to build a life on, okay? As we get to the 14th, we see a full moon happening at the tip top of your chart at 23 degrees of Sagittarius. Now, this particular moon is also square Neptune in your sign, so we're going to need to look for a pressure relief for that. But first of all, the full moon asks us to end something, acknowledge something, or make an adjustment. Okay, so up at the tip top of your chart, getting all of that light in your career zone, but not just career. What is your name in public? What do we call you? What are you known for? What is the title you want to be known for, right? So you've got a lot of opportunity to see how this fits into your life. With all that light at the top of your chart, maybe you wanted to be behind the scenes and all of a sudden you're being very seen at work, or you wanted to not take on that level of responsibility and here you are being risen to the surface, okay? So that could definitely be one explanation of that, where you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to have to just trust something, or someone's going to give me some information so that I can move forward. These are big leaps of faith that we take, and Sagittarius is the sign to help us do that, right? Now, squaring this Neptune in your sign, okay, this is giving me the sense that, and Neptune has slowed down getting prepared for this retrograde, you are unsure. You're unsure of you, or there's something about the opportunity you are being provided or offered with an open hand, and you're not sure if you should take it or if you can take it. I almost feel like it's this sense of, can I do this? An excitement of, I want it, but can I do it? So you might be having to look at, is this the right opportunity? Can I and am I willing at this time in my life to take it? And if not, if I've got too much doubt, just let it sit for a minute. If it's the right thing, it's going to still be the right thing. You cannot cosmically screw this thing up, because if there's a lesson for you to get, it's going to keep coming until you get on that bus. So trust a little bit, and instead let's use your pressure relief valves. We do have Saturn now retrograde in the energy of Aquarius, which is beautiful, right? But your other ruling planet, Jupiter, is hot to trot over there in the energy of Aries along with Mars, and that has a nice connection with this Saturnian energy. Dig into your own wisdom here. Dig into your own wisdom, Pisces. What in the past has shown you to be true? And where in your past have you had to be fearless enough to take action to see the value in the decision that you are making? You cannot just think or feel this one through, but where has your action proved valuable to you before. Allow that to be a really wise guide, I think, to help you at this time. Now, on the 21st, we see the sun moving into the energy of Cancer. This will light up your 5th house space. Great, because it's bringing light, heat, life, and vitality to an expressive place in your chart. Say it, do it. What brings you joy? What brings you pleasure? What's going on with the children in your life? Where are you ready to start that new business, or that new business is taking off, or business is just busy, and we love that. Where are you building a security and learning to nurture this area of your life? Nurture your own voice, nurture your own story, nurture joy, right? When somebody is like, what are you doing today? And you're like, learning to exist joyfully. And they're like, yeah, but what value does that add? You're like, when I die, people are going to say I was a joyful human. And that's it. That's it. That's all the abundance you need to add. Practice nurturing that, right? Now, also, I think quite practically too, with the sun coming into Cancerian energy, maybe things are happening in the home and domestic zone as well. So if that's what's going on, please let me know that for you in the comment section down below. On the 22nd, we see Venus now entering into that Gemini space. So we've got magnetism again in the home zone. The home zone is back on the table. Now, is it home, Pisces? What makes me feel at home in here? Is it my physical home? Is it being near my family? Is it decisions with my family? What are you doing, though, that you're optimizing some joy? You're optimizing some magnetism in your life, but you're needing to speak the willingness to have it into your space and then trust that it is also going to come, right? So it's this mix between faith and action, I think, that's really happening this month. And if you get stuck and it gets squishy, or you're unsure or indecisive, don't push through that mess. Give it a second to let the wrinkles smooth out. Trust actions that you've seen work in the past, and then step forward. It's really a unique dance and balance, and you'll have to find it this month. Now, as we're getting ready to close out this month, we've got Neptune, your ruling planet, one of them, stepping into retrograde at 25 degrees of Pisces all the way until December. Now, this is going to bring you into a reality check in who and what you are and what you're doing. And that's what this is about. We have this idea, an ideal of who we are, and we need to create in the intangible space, right? But when Neptune goes retrograde, we lose tight access to that intangible place, and we get really solid in reality. It's like, boom, this is the reality. In your sign, it's going to say, here's who you are, here's how it's going, here's what you're doing, right? Not here's the vision. Because what happens when we work on a vision or a manifestation from a lack of truth of who we are underneath all the visioning and the trying to call in, is that we're not working in the right vibration, right? So this brings us down to a really nice period, which can sometimes in the beginning feel really disappointing because I don't match the ideal I've been holding in my imagination just yet. I'm still lurking and growing from it, but down here at the ground level truth, I have to make some adjustments so that I can align with that vision. And this will help you to do so, okay? Now, we're also going to have a new moon happening in that Cancerian area at 7 degrees of Cancer in square to Jupiter. So I will just tell you, plant your seeds of intention to begin something new with your children in joy, in love, in pleasure. Don't go big and go home unless you have the check that can absolutely be cashed, okay? Because we have a tendency with Jupiter in the mix to overpromise, underdeliver. Instead, underpromise and overdeliver all the way, and that is your best shot, all right? Okay, my beautiful fishy friends, I love you a ton. Have a gorgeous month. Let me know where your travels and your heart and your joy and your pleasure take you, and I'll see you next month. Bye, friends.